Greetings, folks. This is DC Investing, Reach Financial Independence, and I'm talking about topics that may help others on their path to financial independence. And this week, we had the Fed committee meeting. Jerome Powell lowered interest rates a quarter point. In the money market accounts that I have, early when I started this year, I was at 5%, kind of slowly went down to 4.75%. So now the return is going to be at 4.5%. And so that's a lowering of the amount that you have to live on. And I'm kind of extending this idea out to all the retirees that are out there. If you have cash sitting in a money market account, or if you bought T-bills or bonds or something, you're using that to live on. And so you just got a pay cut from Jerome Powell. And that, at some point, I'm kind of thinking further out, that's going to affect the spending of abilities of a lot of retirees and other rich folks with assets. Because if you have $1 million at the beginning of this year, if you just had the funds sitting in a money market account, that equated to $50,000 in yearly income that you could use to spend. So now with these two rate cuts, instead of $50,000, you'd only be getting $45,000. So that extra $5,000 makes a difference to some budgets. And I think the plan is that the Fed will continue to cut. I guess there's some question if they'll do it in December or not, but that would put the interest rate down at, actually, maybe I'm wrong. It used to be 5% a year ago. I think we were at 4% earlier this year. So we're at 3.75, had been, now it'll be 350. So it'll be 3.25. Sorry, I think I got my numbers wrong. So basically, by the end of the year, if you had your $1 million at the start of the year, you'd earn $40,000 a year, and then by the end of the year, you may end up earning only $32,500, which kind of tightens the screws on a lot of retirees who may be trying to live off money market accounts or T-bill funds or something. And so I would think that at some point, as interest rates go down, it makes it so that you just can't live off of what you earn from a money market account. And really, you can't already, because inflation is higher. True inflation is higher than that 3.5% that we're at right now. The official government number is like 3%, but it's not really true. So you're already losing your purchasing power just by being in a money market anyways, but it's better than nothing, better than being in a bank. So I would imagine that as this process continues, at some point, retirees and folks with higher income, higher savings, they just can't live off of their savings anymore, and they're going to have to shift out of money market accounts and T-bills into something else. Maybe it'll be dividend paying stocks. If you have something that pays a 4% dividend, well, that's higher than you're going to get from money market accounts. And it may make the value of those stocks go up. I really like oil pipelines because they have kind of 7 to 8% dividend rates, which is much higher. So I'm kind of more invested in those sorts of things right now. And if the Fed keeps cutting interest rates, I would imagine the value of those goes up, because A, all of those pipelines can refinance their debt at a lower amount. So their expenses go down, but B, the value of the dividends gets more valuable to a retiree over time. So as people start looking around for yield someplace, more and more of them may take a look at these things and say, hey, I need to live, I need cash to be able to finance my life. Let's purchase a dividend paying stock instead of keeping my money in a money market account or buying a T-bill or something. So just kind of some food for thought. I think long term, that's a force that will add a tailwind to any dividend type paying companies. And as you can earn less and less out of a money market account, people are going to be looking for ways to keep their money ahead of inflation and have income. So there's kind of a thought for potential strategies for investing. So there's my 2 cents. This is DC Investing. Hope, like, subscribe. Hope these chats help with anything, and we'll see you. Bye.